So we started our garden beds using lumber that my dad had sawn up for another project from trees from his land that he cut with his sawmill. So we started with boards that were roughly 1.5 to 1 3/4 inches thick, roughly 8 inches wide, and 14 to 16 inch feet, long. And we went ahead and cut those into 8 foot long pieces and 4 foot long pieces to make them easier to use on the table saw that you see us doing now. This was because we really wanted each of them to be exactly 8 inches or as close to as we could get inches wide, so that when we put the garden beds together, they were nice and even on the top. So we went ahead and ripped all of those down to exactly 8 inches, both the long pieces and the short pieces. And once we were done with that, Nate wanted to make some top caps for the beds to make sure that they were finished off nicely, of course. So we had some what is called waney edged boards, which are boards that have some bark or are not perfectly square edges because they were from the rounded part of the tree. So we were able to use the inside portions of those boards in order to get our narrower 3.5 inch top plates for each of our beds. Those were made, and then we were ready to get going and repile everything and get ready to start on our bed the following day. So here is Nate the following day, not videoing from the beginning, so we have to take it from here. So he's starting out with a little break with the dog because she's just so cute. We had to put that in there for you. So here he is putting the end piece on, the length piece, and then the other side piece. He will go ahead and he will pre-drill some pilot holes for these, and then he's screwing these together with 3-inch exterior rated screws. He will just put a couple screws in each corner to hold it together temporarily until he starts putting the interior bracing and exterior bracing on, which you will see a little bit later on in the video. Now, this bed is not the first bed that we made, to be completely honest here. This is either the second or third. I am not 100% sure at this point. The first one we made was 4 feet wide, and I decided that at the height of 2 feet, 4 feet was just kind of awkward to bend into the center of. And so the beds following our first bed, we made at 3 feet wide instead. Obviously, the choice is up to you which one you do, but that is what I chose because that is what is going to work best for our landscaping and our gardening. So we will have 1 4-foot wide and 2 3-foot wide for this year. Now here Nate is measuring for the corner pieces that are going to be on the exterior of the boxes, which is the support that really holds them together. And he will go ahead and do the exact same process on all 4 of these corners. And again, using those same 3-inch exterior rated screws and getting all of them done on the exterior. Now we have a note on carrots from Zoe. Take it away, Zoe.
Which plant in there, Zoe?
Carrots.
Oh, nice. Doing carrots?
I have normal ones, purple ones, and yellow ones.
Yellow ones?
Yeah.
I don't know yellow ones. I know purple. I'm going to be excited to see those.
Well, thank you, Zoe, for the update on the rainbow carrots that I am realizing are currently planted in our second bed, which tells me this is actually the third bed that Nate made. So that answers the question from earlier in this video when I did not know which bed this was. So moving forward, Nate is going to be measuring for the bracing that is going in the center of the wall in these garden beds. Now, this brace is to help keep the boards from separating in terms of height and spreading out. It is also going to help them prevent them from bowing outwards as well. So that he is putting in right now, and it is about 5 inches down from the top. That is actually what we also used once we put the dirt in. It comes roughly to the top of that bracing that is inside there. So you can see that right in the middle. That is again screwed in with the same screws, and he is getting ready to start cutting and putting on the top plate. So we are nearing the end of our garden bed video. Okie doke, this is voiceover take like 963, very reminiscent of that first video that you saw, so I am just going to attempt to sum this up, and thanks for bearing with us this entire time. So Nate is putting on the top plates so this looks nice and finished, and we will then carry it off to its final resting place where we will fill it with sticks and soil and compost, and that will be in the next video because this one is already far too long, and hopefully you will join us for that one as well. One thing that I did not say yet, which I did want to make sure was said, is that we did build these out of hemlock. Hemlock is considered a softwood, but it is one of the harder, sturdier ones. It can withstand weather and years of rain and saturation from dirt and earth and whatnot better than a softer softwood, such as pine or something like that you can get at the store. We were very specific in choosing this and what we made our beds out of. We did not want to use anything like a pressure treated or any type of sheet metals, which we were considering, but because of the chemicals and how those are made, we were not okay with growing our vegetables in it that we were going to be feeding our family with. This wood is from the land that is directly attached to ours, which is owned by my dad and my stepmother. And so this wood is very clean, and we were very confident in the fact that we knew that it would be safe to do our garden beds in. And that is a big concern for a lot of people, along with what we filled our garden beds with, which we'll go into more detail in our next video. So thank you so much for staying with us, and we hope that you enjoyed this and that it was helpful. And if anybody wants details on the screws or anything else or the materials in exact quantities, then please comment below and we would be glad to put that out there. Thanks for watching. Nate?
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Watching just another insane OCD thing that you're doing. And yes, the part that did not make it into the main video is that Nate did have to go around and router both the inside and outside edges of the top of every single garden bed once he got it in place because it just wasn't finished or right enough without it. So these are some of the logs that we're going to be taking to, and the brush that we're going to be taking to put into the bottom of the beds that we are filling to do the method that I don't remember the name of.
I fail to see why it should be dead. It should not be dead. I'm not dead yet.
That hat is like a 10-gallon hat on you, by the way. Yeah.
She's touching cow poop.
No, it smells like dirt. This is the magical part of it.
Cow poop.
This little guy's looking pretty good. So I'm going to take him, and this is a little leaf bud here. I'm going to plant all the way up to here to get as much of that root system underground as possible.